Cougar fans, how you doing out there tonight? It's another episode of Real American Cougar. Thank you for subscribing, watching, liking the channel here, Real American Cougar at Lost Recording Studio. Thank you for all the comments and the likes on the Facebook page. I'm going to start putting a few of the videos on the Facebook page so other people can see them and they can come and watch all of our episodes that we've had going for the last almost 2 years now. And share a little bit with everybody, every way we can. I am thinking about, liking younger men. I have admitted before that I like younger men. And I don't know if it runs in families or whatever, but my oldest daughter, her husband is 5 years younger than her. So I don't know. I don't know how it comes about that I would prefer younger people. But then I thought to myself, they talk about the cougars who go out and they want to get these young men and they want to teach them this and teach them that and show them the ropes. And how young is too young? You know, do you want to just grab somebody who's 18 because they're old enough to consent? I mean, how young is too young? Now, the psychologists, they seem to dabble in all kinds of human behavior. And they actually had a name for men who preferred older women, and that is a gerontophobia, like geriatric, like old. And I don't know why it's phobia. Oh, philia. Sorry, it's not phobia. They're not afraid. They want that. Gerontophilia. And someone like myself who, if somebody younger liked me, they would be gerontosexual. Have you ever heard of that? Gerontosexual. I've never heard of that until just the last few days. I thought, wow. But there's plenty of data. There's plenty of data about how older men and younger women, can get along. There's not a lot of data about older women and younger men. The socially acceptable creepiness rule is it's acceptable to date or be with someone who is half your age plus 7 years. So I figured out, because of this creepiness rule, and I don't know who made this up. I don't know who made this rule. But for me, it is acceptable for me to date a man who would be 38 and a half years old. And you can spend your time doing the math on that and figure out how old I am if you want to. But 38.5 is the acceptable age for me. The biggest age gap, I'm not very good at relationships and maintaining relationships and things like that, but I will tell you about the longest age gap that I have ever had in a relationship with a man was 18 years. I was with a man for 3 years who was 18 years younger than me. He was not a young man. He was 40 years old. He was an adult at 40. I would hope most people are adults at 40. We had a lot in common. There's a lot of things that you have to think about when you're that much older than somebody. And one thing, that was nice about it, we could have good conversations. We had a lot in common. If you want to remain sexually active, men over 50, it's kind of an iffy choice there that you're going to get somebody who is going to be able to maintain that kind of relationship without Viagra. So if you happen to find a man who's over 50 and they are still actually able to be sexually active, then you're pretty lucky. So, younger men, that's nice that they're able to do that. But when you're in love with a younger man and you want to make a relationship, there's a lot more things that you got to talk about. What their priorities are. Do they have any? Some young people, they don't really have any. They don't really know where they're going. They don't know what they want to accomplish out of life. I would think by 40, you've got some priorities. But, you've got to know, they've got to know where they're going. They like to have, I like somebody who likes to have good conversations. I'm a deep thinker. So I like somebody else who might be a deep thinker. Or I like to share what I think, and I like to have good conversations. So they got to be able to have a nice, deep conversations. Myself, I'm not into the physical so much. It wouldn't matter what their age is. I don't think I could just go meet somebody and a complete stranger and go home with them. I don't think I could do that. I'm looking for something a little deeper than that. If young men aren't mature enough to have good conversations, share thoughts, they just want to go for the physical and see ya, I'm not too interested about that. I want somebody who's going to relate to me in many different ways. And so, and then when you talk to a younger person and you're in a relationship with them and you're that much older than somebody, another conversation you need to have after priorities is, what about when I get older? What if I'm sick? What if somebody needs to take care of me? Because if this person is half my age plus 7, so that makes me quite a bit older than them, I'm going to age and I'm not going to be well. Maybe I'm not going to be well. Maybe I'll need somebody to care for me. And what's going to happen then? And are we still going to stay together when I'm not able to do all the things that I do now? Because that time will come for all of us. And that's one of the deep conversations you need to have with someone and figure out if they are willing to go through all phases of the life with you. So that's very important. For me, brief physical interactions for me can be traumatic. Because of my upbringing, I would feel quite guilty over something like that. I was taught to, fall in love, get married, stay with somebody forever. That didn't happen for me, but I still have this, in the back of my mind, this upbringing that, you don't just go for the quick physical gratification. So I really look for maturity in a man. Could I be with a 20-year-old? I doubt it. A 30-year-old? I don't know. It depends on what emotional maturity they have, intellectual maturity that they have. You want someone who is compatible with you. For me, even the level of education. I have a level of education that makes me want to do a lot of research. It makes me interested in a lot of different topics. And I want somebody who is also intellectually mature. And they're interested in things that are going around and know about things that are going on about them and know about all kinds of different topics that you can talk about, so that you can have an equal understanding. If you're with someone who doesn't really care too much about what's going on, they don't care to learn much of anything, they just kind of go through life. Some young people do. They just kind of bounce from one thing to the other through life. And that's okay for a certain point. But I want a guy who has an opinion on something. They can make their own decisions. I don't want to be a mommy to anybody. I want my equal. I want someone to be my equal, can make their own decisions. They have their own thoughts. So maturity means a lot. You can meet a 35-year-old that's probably quite mature. You might even meet a 29-year-old that might be pretty mature for their age. I'm not saying that all young people are immature, but I require a certain maturity level. And I think that people of any age can get along and can have relationships, but you got to have that baseline of understanding and that baseline of maturity. I like men who can contribute ideas and different thoughts and things I haven't thought of. I also like men who can contribute financially. I look for someone, it doesn't matter their age, but they need to be financially secure. I'm not going to be around to take care of somebody and be their mommy and let them do whatever they want and not care. They at least have to have a job. Which shows that they are mature and they are responsible. And I don't want everything falling on me. So, they got to have some kind of financial security. I'm not looking for a millionaire. I joke with a friend of mine who plays the Mega Millions, and I tell him, well, when he wins, I'll marry him. And we laugh about it. But I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for someone who at least has the responsibility to have a job. I think about the relationships. What kind of relationship is this person going to have with my family members? What kind of relationship am I going to have with their family members? If you're in it for to try to build something together, you want your family to be able to get along with this person. You want this person to be interested and get along with your family as well. When I was with the guy that was 18 years younger than me, I didn't think about it right away because we liked each other. We got along great. He got along great with my family, and I found out that he was the same age as my oldest son. And when I thought that he was the same age as my oldest son, I thought, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But I don't tend to worry too much about criticism. We got along. The family got along with him. The family loved him, as a matter of fact, probably more than I did. You know, you want to think about things like that too. You want to see how this person is going to fit into your loved ones, how they're going to interact, and if this is a good thing for you to bring this person into your family or not. Age really doesn't matter as long as you're compatible, as long as someone is mature enough to be understanding, have good conversations. I do prefer younger people, but, you know, there is a limit. There is a limit to what I'm going to tolerate. I'm not in it to just go out, do the cougar thing, pick somebody up. I don't even know them. Get some kid that doesn't know what they're doing. I don't want somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. I want someone who knows what they're doing. So these are my thoughts on the cougar lifestyle as I see it. I don't know who made up the formula about what's acceptable. And at this point in my life, I don't really care too much about what is socially acceptable. As long as I don't hurt anyone and I'm happy and other people, you know, they're happy, they're not hurt, they're not offended. I can't say offended. I probably offend quite a few people once in a while, but I really don't try to, and I really don't care to live up to, you know, any of the society standards. I don't want to break the law for sure, but I'm a pretty decent, you know, laid back person. But those are my thoughts on dating younger men. How young is too young? You have to take a little bit of consideration and decide what kind of effect are you going to have on a young person's life. Think about that. Maybe there's a young person that's growing up that isn't too experienced in life. They don't have all the baggage that we have. They haven't been through everything that we have. So it takes a lot of thought and a lot of consideration about how you're going to treat someone who is much younger than you, because some of these younger people are still forming their opinions and they're still getting through life and trying to figure out what life is all about. So those are just a few things I wanted to bring up and talk to you about. As we talk about the cougar lifestyle, we'll be talking more about how to create our life and how to make our own happiness. And I just thought that maybe we would dabble back into the cougar lifestyle again and, you know, just bring up a few things that matter. They matter to me. It's just something for you to think about. Thank you for watching again. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed, all the likes, keep the likes coming, send me a message on the Facebook page, write me a letter, Real American Cougar, matureculture@gmail.com, RAC, matureculture@gmail.com, sorry. And you can even send me a letter. Tell me what you think about. Tell me how young you think is too young. Until next time, take it easy, stay warm, peace out.